I would love to be in production this year. I think it's getting down to the wire for that, but there's a few things that we're talking about. Yeah, as soon as possible.
How many are you going to do per year?
The idea was to, again, like when you say something, it never happens. But we'd love to do, I think in stride we could do 3 or 4 a year. I think when you're working at a lower budget, you kind of have to work in volume. With safety, we partnered with Mark Duplass and Jay Duplass and their producer Stephanie Langhoff. And I think in this field, if we're partnering with other producers, we can easily do 4 a year.
Any other questions out there? I think we're almost out of time, so I'm going to ask one final, very practical thing. So for the producers assembled here, what advice would you give to make the most out of the IFF experience and being in Toronto this year? Meet all the people you can?
Meet all the people you can. Don't give up. Do not take no for an answer. Be persistent, be aggressive, and at the end of the day, don't bullshit people, okay? Don't lie. I mean, if you don't have an answer to a question, if somebody who you're talking to is a professional and actually is reasonably smart, and they ask you a question and you don't have the right answer, just tell them you don't have the right, you don't know, okay? But I mean, what will end up happening is, and we've all seen it a lot, people come sit down and we start asking and talking to them, and then very, very quickly, we can ascertain if they know what they're talking about or not. And then if they don't, or we sort of see that they're sort of going in a direction, you lose our interest. And I think the other thing that's important too is when you're sitting with, whether it's a producer, you are producers, or you're sitting with somebody that can finance your film or make it happen, be succinct, okay? Do not go into law and practice. The art of pitching or the art of, talking in a very succinct, concise manner is an art. And unfortunately, most people in the film business and in this space are either ADD or OCD, okay, or both, okay, and you can tell, and this depends on who it is in terms of how fast you lose their interest. So it's really critical, okay, that you sort of look them in the eye, say what you have to say, and stop.
I don't know how you're going to top that advice, but
I'll go one step further. I would say don't even go, like, for example, if you have a project, you want to pitch it to Jerry or Milan, I would say, like, network down. Go find their assistant and go to them, someone who's actually going to give you the time of day and say, not that these guys wouldn't, but no, but I'm saying...
I have his home phone number. I have all of his... He's making the smaller movies. We have all of his contact details.
Maybe I should
say,
See me
afterwards.
For example, Harvey Weinstein or something like that. Obviously, Harvey has a cadre of assistants. These people are smart, they're intelligent, he's hand-chosen them. If you find them, you're going to be able to establish a relationship with them that can be ongoing, that you can continue on. Whether you might be able to shell something to Harvey, he's never going to remember what you said. So don't be afraid to find the assistant of somebody and build those relationships, because they're going to be lasting.
And I wish I had some very specific nugget, but it's going to sound generic too, but don't be shy. I mean, this is obviously an amazing group of people. You're going to get to know all of each other. But if you're walking on the street, it's such a wonderful festival that draws so many different people from different places. If you're sitting waiting for somebody outside and you bump into someone, you say hello, ask them what they do. I mean, it takes tenaciousness. You have to want it, and you have to sometimes border on being rude a little bit. Get to know as many people as you can. And it's not just, hey, it's just these people. If you're out and about at a restaurant and you overhear an interesting conversation, be polite, just say hello, if you're on your way out, something like that. You have to fight for it. And then the second part of it is follow up. I met some really interesting, great people in festivals around the world, and then I get an email 4 months later that say, hey, it was great to sit with you on the bus coming back, and I have absolutely no idea who it was. If that email had come 2 weeks later, I'd be like, oh yeah, that person, they were nice, and then right back. And then if you wait 4 or 5 months to follow up with people that you meet here, they're probably not going to write back.
Okay, so keep at it, I think, is the final word. Thank you so much to IFF for having us here, and for the wonderful panelists for great insight.